Have you ever had a religious experience? But the next question is, have you ever had a spiritual experience? See? What about the first one? Have you had a religious experience?
I have had several, yes.
What was his name? Father who?
I never had that.
Good. Have you had a spiritual experience?
Every time I hang out with you here in front of Mount Helios, it's a spiritual experience.
That's nice, mate. That's nice. I must be spoiled because I just...
Tell me about your most spiritual experience,
Yes.
and we'll share these anecdotes, and then we can wrap it up. What do you reckon?
Okay.
Have you ever been on an LSD trip that was worth anything noteworthy happened?
Oh, well, many times, but you wonder whether it was these things happened because you were on LSD or do they really happen?
Or what is reality?
Well, that's right. And I think I've crossed the line a few times because I like the old acid in the day. You'd never tell. Hey!
We're still talking about doing an LSD episode. We'll get all fucking Sid Barrett on your ass.
Anyway,
I was explaining LSD to my mum the other day.
Uh-oh.
She found it fascinating,
Okay.
or rather, she may have called the people in white coats straight afterwards. But
well, they used it too.
well, that's
You know, that's the thing.
Tell us more.
And,
But what tell us about one spiritual or transcendent experience that you've had.
well, I've had many. I've lost count. I've had many things like that.
What's a funny thing that happened while you were on acid?
Oh, running into an electric fence, thinking I was flying across a paddock, running. There's been lots of things. I mean, things I probably shouldn't have been doing whilst I was tripping. Hitchhiking all over the place, driving everywhere, going on stage. Dracula's was interesting on acid.
It would have been.
It was.
Did they know?
No. Well, I asked people, and they were always shocked at the end of the show afterwards. I'd sort of say in the club or something like that afterwards, you know, did you notice, yada, yada, yada. They may have noticed the coke, because that sort of made me Superman there.
Yeah.
And
right.
and with the pot, I used to have to make sure I had the eyedroppers in, because if you walked in and they rumbled you straight away, it sort of ate at your confidence a bit.
Yeah.
It's sort of like they're sort of like, well, they know, you know, and the management were very strict about that. So I started using the eye products to come walk in all nice and clear, and then there was the times when I had to go in there after drinking a 6-pack of beer in the car park before I could walk in.
Wow.
Yes.
We had a police officer when I was a little boy come to our school and did a talk on heroin, so you couldn't understand him. That's a Tim Vine. Hello, Tim. I went about 9 years ago. Pretty much exactly 9 years to the month. I went to Peru, spelt P. Oh shit! I've started now. P and then Aru.
Aru. P-a-roo. How do you P-a-roo?
You got to catch them first.
Oh, good.
But there I am, and I drank ayahuasca, and I'm very sensitive to all this stuff, and they didn't know that because they just saw this big dude, and so they gave me a huge dose.
Uh-oh.
And dude, I got stories galore about that.
Yeah.
But I had to get the music. And when I say music, the singing of this brother and sister Shipibo traditional non-English speaking elderly couple, when they started singing about 30-40 minutes into the experience, it was total quilence. And they went, all you could hear was just nothing. There was just one candle in the middle of this big temple, and then after about 30-40 minutes, all you heard was they're singing in unison a octave apart. What are that called? Is that called harmonizing?
No, because it's an octave though.
So imagine this. You can do the low one. But she was much higher. She was like, and it was the most fucking frightfully powerful music I've ever heard in my
The human voice.
fucking life. It terrified me. Terrified me. Everyone else was content to stay in the temple. How's this, right? I was, Tomo, I'm embarrassed to say, I was utterly terrified of their music. It was so powerful. I laid there on my side because I couldn't move, and I may have been laying there. You lose all track of time.
3 years.
3 roughly years. And I was laying there, and this happened every time actually, but this is the first time I've done anything like this. I'd straighty 180 most of my life, except for acid in high school once, and a bit of marijuana here and there when I was young. Here I am fucking going overseas in the middle of the fucking Amazon, and I'm out of my tits. I can't even remember my own name. All I could remember, I couldn't remember my name. I could remember that I was from Australia. And all I knew is I needed to get up and out the door of wherever I was and get on the first plane back to Australia. That's all I became I was so gripped with fear that I lay there, but I couldn't move my body.
Wow.
And if you're having trouble, you're supposed to knock on the wooden floor 3 times, knock, 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 and someone goes and help you. I couldn't even do that. And so here's what happened. I'm like, fuck, I've got to get out of here, Lying there for 10 minutes, right, at a guess, trying to psych up to stand up, right? I'm a big overweight dude, right? And everything's and we're all together, and I could have fallen on someone and crippled him. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stand up. 10 minutes of this bullshit and go, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to try and stand up. 1, 2, 3, and then I opened my eyes and I was standing. I had no fucking idea how I was standing, and a couple of them saw me and they're like, oh fuck, and they've run over to fucking help me like an old lady out the door, and I'm lying face first on the ground for an hour or 2 just trying to go, what the fuck. I had to get away from the music, so it felt a bit safer outside while the ants crawled around me with their fucking leaves on their back.
Oh, yeah, leaf cutter ants.
One of them bit me just to let me know, and I go, sorry little fella. And then as it wore off and I was able to get around, it was the wildest night of my life, dude. I was out there lecturing groups of trees in the jungle. I would spend like an hour, at a guess, talking to one group of trees. And like I was like a philosophy lecturer and a super universal mathematics lecturer, lecturing trees. I go, it's like the yin versus the yang are energized by the same, but it was like, it wasn't loud, it was like the yin and the yang are moving together and they're in constant movement. And what they have is a gentleman's agreement about the femality and the masculinity coming together to perform. I was going, and then I'd move off to another group of trees and I'd lecture that trees for another, at a guess, hour. And then every now and then, one of the helpers would come up just to check on me because they knew me and they were all good humoured people, especially Denny from Perth. Hello, Denny from Perth. He became a good mate. And Denny from Perth comes up, or one of them, and they once an hour or so they'd come and check on me, and they'd always say the same thing, and my response was always the same. They'd go, how you doing, Davey? Are you okay? And like they'd be interrupting me lecturing, and I'd turn to them without even thinking, and I would say the same thing every single time. The answer was manifest before the question was born. And then I'd go back to lecturing their Davey, and they'd laugh and go away. And then an hour later, a girl would come, Davey, are you okay? The answer was manifest before the question was born. So that's my little transcendental fucking story.
Nice.
Would you run into an electric fence?
Yeah. No, there's too many to remember. I mean, I spent many years basically non-stop tripping, so it's hard to sort of tell.
Yeah,
I did everything. I did work, I did play, I did family. I was just silly because I was trying to push boundaries. How far can I do this? How much can I do this?
How much can a koala tolerate?
That's right. Not that much, apparently.
It was a treat for me. I rarely did it.
One of the times I was out and about hitchhiking was up near the Daintree.
Yeah.
And you ever seen a cassowary?
I haven't seen anything wary.
Well, be wary of these fucking things.
Yeah, I met Casa, and I got too drunk
Be
one
wary.
night, and she was fucking wary.
I know. They're scary fucking things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's your cassowary story? You got a sore back.
Oh, yeah, I'm just leaning forward, stretching it out. Oh, don't mind me.
Or do you want one more story before we close?
Oh, go on.
No, you cassowary.
No, it was a cassowary. I was fucking around in the jungle and I came across a rather large male cassowary.
How do you know it was a male?
Because it was bigger than anything you've seen and looked very angry.
Jesus.
And had the big thing on its head.
So you were wary.
Yeah, I was petrified.
A cassowary and a tomowary.
But I ran up a tree that was like about... and because I'm a big fella, I got up there and it started to go boing. And this fucking thing's sitting there looking at me as I'm going up to its face.
And you're on acid.
Yeah, and I'm fucking like that. And it's staring at me, blinking. And I'm fucking bouncing around in this tree doing this. Thinking this thing's going to fucking snap any minute. And I was up there for fucking hours because I went out after lunch and the sun was going down.
Yeah, hours.
Yeah, mate, because it wouldn't go. It was like, it was scratching and fucking looking and making honky noises. And I know if I drop off or fucking go this thing, it's going to rip me a new arse. So the sun went down and I was just about to get to the point where I could not hold on to this fucking tree anymore. I had my legs wrapped around it like hard for fucking 2 hours, arms hanging on like this, fucking doing that, hanging on.
You must have been laughing.
Oh, look, I suppose so. I don't remember laughing because I was too fucking serious at the time. I laughed since. And but it fucked off when it got dark. It must have decided it had to go home. Its day of work frightening the shit out of me is done. So I had to then find my way back to the beach, which is east because I was in the jungle, in the forest. So I had to listen for water, which means other things that live in water. But luckily in the Daintree, it's fresh water that goes down to the beach, not like here, salt water coming up in. So things like saltwater crocodiles and stuff like that don't really come up the creeks because they're freshwater creeks. Some things do to get barnacles off, but I walked through to get from one beach to another through a tidal creek, up this deep. That was salt water in the middle of the night. I told Chopper that. He said, he said, what was going on? I said, I smoked some of the best grass I've ever had in my life, and it was like real strong hash, and I just thought I'd just walk back to my campsite. So I just, river there, creek, no worry. So I just sort of waded into it and it got up to there. It was about, 100 yards, 50 to 100 yards long, I suppose, maybe an Olympic pool or more width.
Jesus.
And, the things that could kill is cone shellfish, stingrays, sharks, crocodiles, box jellyfish, stonefish, all the things that can kill you. And I didn't give it a thought. And I told him that. I said, I just didn't even register that I was in any danger whatsoever. And he said, you must have been out there, He said, becoming one with nature, because I had this vibe, and I never would have thought about that in the military. Because I told him, he said, because I know what Chopper Reed's done, and he said there was no way he'd do that in a million years, and I didn't even give it a thought. So what's that say? But I mean, that's good grass. I could have been someone's lunch easily, someone's dinner easily, and it fucking happens. I've been very lucky though. Fucking Jesus. Oh mate, I've got a huge list of ways I should not be fucking here.